Can any of the species help aid the defense of a plant, either trigger something genetically within the plant, by giving the plant additional minerals from the soil that it otherwise couldn't accumulate, like it can defend itself better? Do you get a plant defense bump from
Yeah,
AMF?
absolutely. Especially when thinking about those little seedlings that we often grow up in, our still potting soil in our very protected greenhouse. Sometimes when those are transplant, that's why transplant shock happens, right? These plants have not been triggered to have a defense system to be able to handle any wind or drought or all the conditions of the world. Fungi can trigger these defensive pathways and help prime that plant to be able to deal with other when an actual thing that comes to harm them comes along. Another example, I did some work with milkweeds in the prairie system and looked at the amount of latex produced by these milkweeds. So, if you know the story of milkweeds, they're host for the monarch butterflies, which are, I don't know if they're federally endangered or if they just didn't make the cut this year. I know it was a hot topic in the news. But these monarch butterflies are obligately dependent on the milkweeds because they eat the sap of the milkweeds, they internalize that latex and the cardenolides, and then they're defended and they can persist. And so in the study, I showed that if you gave these milkweeds our native mycorrhizae, you can trigger this plant to actually make more latex. And so these plants were healthier, and even plants that were the same size had more latex with the fungi than without. And so, from the perspective of the plant, it's better defended against most things because most things don't like latex. But from the unique perspective of the monarch butterfly, which loves latex and cardenolides, having more of that makes them better defended as well.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess I'm thinking, right? Like if AMF are primarily bringing more phosphorus to the plant, anything that plant would use phosphorus for is now dialed up, right? Because now
Yeah.
I have more of it.
Yep. Sure. It's basically no longer limiting if you have fungi that are working hard. They'll get you as much phosphorus as you want because, carbon is not a limiting thing for plants. They just pick it up, photosynthesize, drop it out their root. So they can feed fungi um, if there's something that they deliver.